Hi everybody, welcome back to Starfield Raw, episode number 72. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by my fellow co-host. You all know him as the extraordinarily space trucker? I was trying to mix it up and it just went completely out wrong.
You just totally tried to flip it and it just really didn't, it didn't bang out.
My brain was going the other way and did not work. We are back for another episode. It's been an interesting week. I was extremely frustrated in the game this week, and I'll get into that later. Like, I want to pull my hair out type frustrated.
Yeah. I know how that goes. I had a weird recurring issue on my game, but I'll talk about that when we get to playthroughs.
Everyone knows about my incredibly awesome luck that I don't have. And it came out in full force, and I am convinced to this day that I was saving all my luck for my significant other, so I spent it all on her. Now it's just... And my son, because he's crazy good luck. Now it's just nothing left but bad luck. I'm in debt.
You gotta pay it back, man.
How many years do I gotta pay it back for? It's like a high interest car loan. Never ends.
It's like a reverse deal with the devil, so if that's the case, hopefully not more than 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Has it been more than 10?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well then I got nothing for you.
It's been like 24.
Okay.
Ever since my son was born. All right, so we're gonna go around Discord to kick this off tonight, and then we'll get into our plays, and then of course the mods of the week. Our Discord, there was a couple interesting things, and one of them probably my favorite ship builds I have seen yet, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest with it. Fluffy Muffin in our Discord posted 3 different spacecraft that he built. I was obviously using Aventech.
Oh man. Yep.
And the first one he called the Varun Dirge 3. Holy crap, I want it. It looks like a cross. It looks like something out of, a cross between Star Wars and Starfield.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's got a really great shape to it.
Yeah, huge land speeder with wings.
Pretty much. Yeah, he really put those Aventech parts to work there. It looks great.
And what he did with the missiles and everything, like all the details, the fine details he put into it, I was really impressed. Well,
here's the thing with Fluffy Muffin, because I've known him for a while. Shout out to Fluffy Muffin. He's actually one of the mods over on Starfield Shipyards, my Facebook group. So he for so long he did not play with mods, and he just built everything vanilla, strict vanilla. He was big into it. So you put a little extra creative freedom in his hands, and this is what he comes up with.
Yeah. Now the derelict little muv or whatever he calls it, it looks like something you would plug into a computer.
It looks like it looks like a thumb drive.
It does.
Little wings on it.
That's the first thing I got when I saw it. Yeah. The second one's pretty cool. It looks like almost like a fighter jet. I think the front end can be changed a little bit, but the rest, the whole body of it is really, really, really good.
Well, that front end on it right there, that is the Deimos glassless cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I might not have placed it there either. That first ship was fire, though. I like his take on the Varun ship. Yep.
I think it was really, really, really good.
And I liked how you used the engines from the original Aventech mod to stack them up and make them look like missile pods or something.
Yeah, in the front end.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That's creative.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Or he could have like extreme braking right there.
That would be very extreme braking. That's for sure.
And go from light speed to 0 in 2 seconds. And give everyone whiplash and smother them against the walls. Well, in space, you really don't feel thrust, so I guess you'd be okay. Because there's no drag, there's no air.
I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, I couldn't tell you, but it sounds right, sure.
Yeah, there's no G's if you don't have gravity, so you can't feel G-force when there's no G-force in space.
Okay, so even artificial gravity that's produced by forward motion, there you would not.
That would be just internal. You wouldn't really feel the motion of the aircraft.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, that makes sense. Star Trek, they kind of nailed it in many cases, except for when they go into those little shuttle pods and they act like they're going really fast in space, and that's not the case. But
right.
You can see them like in the lounge area just talking and chatting, and they're going well beyond light speed, like 6 times the force of it. And they're just not even feeling it. It's normal every day.
Interesting. Because what was it? Was it Armageddon, where they have to slingshot around the moon to catch up to the comet? And
it's a common trope in movies and gaming is like, you're going to be pushed back to your seat. Well, yeah, on Earth, when you're leaving the atmosphere, you're going to feel those G's big time. because there's
Right.
gravity on Earth. As soon as you leave our atmosphere, though, that all goes bye-bye.
You don't actually, yeah, even, okay. See, that's something, you learn something new every day.
And the fact that you see, like, in movies and stuff like that, where they'll have fiery explosions in space.
Well, right. There's no
that
oxygen for
no
fire
oxygen.
in space.
Yeah, it just flashes and that's it.
Oof. Right.
Burns the
See,
internal
no.
oxygen and that's it.
Right. Well, I think part of it is, I mean, that's why you can, I mean, even Starfield, you hear stuff from other ships out in space. That is a trope, but it makes it more exciting. It's cinematic. It's not meant to be real life. So just
True.
enjoy it for what it is.
Valid. I would like to see a show or movies that actually follow true to that. Because Star Trek will get it right sometimes and wrong at other times.
Right.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, but I think, but again, I think it's a matter of what's entertaining and what's not.
True.
What's exciting and what's not, especially in America. You know, our big trope in America is car chases.
True.
Why is there a car chase? Because that's what we do. Not because there has to be one.
It's just what we do.
Okay? It's what we do. So, you know, it makes it more exciting. I don't know. Maybe it'd be boring to sit there and watch, like, you know, an X-Wing versus TIE fighter battle, and you can't hear anything. There's no sound of motion. There's no laser blasts. There's no explosions. It's just a little puff of the TIE fighter falling to pieces at the end, and then that's it.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, is there actual tropes in Starfield other than the ships exploding in unrealistic ways? But I can't think of anything else that, well, I think the weapon physics are wrong depending on the gravity of the planet you're on.
Like with ballistic weapons, you mean?
Yeah. 'Cause I'd imagine shooting my hard target in zero gravity space station, I'm going to go flying back a mile.
Well, you think. You have no weight. Your mass
True.
is much lower.
But there's still opposite but equal reaction.
Right, exactly. So however fast that bullet would normally travel out of the chamber, now that's split between you and the bullet.
Yeah.
So you would think that you'd both go in opposite directions at the same speed.
In physics, yeah, that's pretty much the idea.
Okay.
Then I imagine myself flying straight back and splatting against the wall as soon as I got a shot, and have to tie myself down to, shoot it. It would make sense if they had more weapon force in zero gravity.
Right. The one thing that I haven't seen, I've only seen it once. It was a 90s movie. It was one of the more serious science fiction films, and I'm struggling to remember the name of the movie, but I remember it specifically because one of the things the characters talk about early on, I think the one chick had like some traumatic experience, and she asked the guy, "Have you ever seen fire in zero gravity?" And then later in the movie, there's a fire on the ship in zero gravity, and at the time, we're up there a ways. Okay, we're over the hill, so it was a while ago, but it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But I've only seen it in that one movie. It's killing me.
Well, yeah, there very well could be fire in zero gravity because there's still oxygen.
Right.
If there's oxygen.
But they actually did it, and it was probably like some horrible CGI good CGI for the time, horrible for now, but it looked amazing. And that's the only time I've ever seen it. I keep going back to Event Horizon, but it's not that. It's not that one. It's a different one.
Well, if you remember, mention it, but I'd imagine like if the game went more true to physics in terms of zero G, that you would want to have your laser and energy weapons and not use your ballistics at all.
Right, because they don't produce
the same force kickback.
Right, which would make sense.
And I think grenades would be a lot more of a funny effect in zero G.
I'd love to. Yeah, that would be great. Especially if there's nothing to slow it down.
Yeah.
You would think that would extend the kill radius quite a bit.
Significantly, actually.
Yeah.
It'd be like 10 times the blast radius.
Yeah.
At least of the shrapnel.
Yeah. The concussion. Well, I don't know how concussion works in zero G. Concussive force.
That one I don't know. That one we have to figure out.
Okay. Listen, Neil deGrasse Tyson, if you're listening to this, who knows? Maybe you are. We don't know. But if you are, we'd love to get you on the show.
My favorite physicist, Dr. Brian Cox. Yeah, definitely. Come on. The guy's amazing.
Okay, Brian Cox. That's open invite.
Come on. Explain us all the physics that you know of space, and it'll be like a 5-hour episode.
Todd Howard, come explain this.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there enthralled.
Take you too.
Okay.
Yeah. You hear nothing out of us for an hour and a half.
He came on, Brian went on Joe Rogan's show not long ago, last month, I think.
Okay.
And I highly recommend it. It's a really, really good listen.
I haven't listened to Joe Rogan in forever. I keep getting updates, and I just wait till I find it like, oh, that'd probably be an interesting guest, and then I go listen to it. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of other tropes aside from like
Yeah, I've been thinking about
obviously
it.
like the UC is very much government screwed with an alien life form. It turned out horrible, and then they tried to cover it up. That's a
Yeah, how
trope.
they did the three different like government types, or even Neon City, the lawlessness of it, trying to play it off
Yeah,
like Vegas in a way.
right.
And then you got the Wild West. They went heavy on those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're trying to appeal to people like the different major genres of science fiction, especially the ones that are popular now, which is cyberpunkish type world,
Yeah.
cowboys in space, a la Firefly, and then
Oh
the
yeah.
UC, yeah, and then the UC, which is like
Oh, we do know that
Firefly
they
slash.
took a lot of influence from science fiction,
Oh yeah,
and
and
it
there's so much of
shows.
it out there. Yeah, the derrick, the oil derrick that you can find on frozen planets. That's
Oh
obviously
yeah,
like, yeah,
the one I've never found.
right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some more. They got.
I'll have to think about that because if you guys can think of any, post it in our Discord.
Yeah, let's make that a topic for next episode, maybe.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one.
See if we can come up with a list of some stuff. We'll take some suggestions from you guys. As always, we always appreciate the suggestions for show content.
Makes our lives so much easier when doing the
It
show.
makes it more fun too,
It
because we get
does.
to talk about what you guys want to talk about. So
It's sometimes it's kind of hard coming up with topics for the show. Like our play we can probably go about a half hour on that, but we want to fill in the time as something that's interesting for you guys to listen to. And if you guys think something's interesting that you would like to hear, we would like to do it. Most likely.
yeah, we
Like,
have. Oh, I was just gonna say we have the. I'm an idiot. Help me out here.
I don't know. I can't read your mind yet.
It's the very obviously named content for the show channel on our Discord.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. I know I
If
get
you
where you're
want to
going.
put some suggestions in there or ask questions in the questions channel, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Mossy actually had a good suggestion that I
Yeah, what's
decided
that?
to go ahead and throw it in the show. And he
Okay.
asked about what our favorite mods or must-have mods are.
Okay.
That we like mods that we can't live without in playing the game.
Yeah. As I was thinking about this, I realized that since I've started doing mods with creation coming out and everything like that, I have not really given thought to that. Like I could answer right off the top of my head my absolute must-have mods for Fallout or for Skyrim, the ones that I always load up, and it's usually background stuff or aesthetic things,
Right.
something to make the game look prettier. But I had to think about it for a minute about the ones that I actually have to have in this one.
I had a
Would you-
couple.
You got a couple?
Yeah, I thought about it. Like I don't use near as much mods as a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very particular about the kind of mods I like to put in the game. I like mods that add content,
Sure.
but don't change the existing content.
That's fair.
And well, my idea is more of a good thing.
Okay.
So most of my mods build off of that. And I think that pretty much every Bethesda created mod is a must-have. They're always tried, tested, and they're mostly all been fantastic.
Yeah. They've been some good ones.
Escape is by far my number one mod of choice because of the content it creates and the stuff you get from it.
Yeah.
It's another part of the game to me, and it's something I got to do. And of course, you got the Vulture, and in itself it's a decent little one, quick, easy, adds a great new rifle to the game,
Yeah. That's a good
and
one.
it's fun. And it just adds on to the existing thing with the Trackers Alliance, which I think they need to do more of, a lot
Yes.
more.
I do agree with that.
I want to see that elite bounty board full of like 10 different options, not 2.
Yeah.
I want to go after that dude again, the one that got away.
I want a most wanted list, man.
Yes. Oh, that's it. Top
Yep.
10 most wanted in the galaxy or universe. Yep. Make him a random spawn entity that's a super elite and really, really tough to get to. Heck yeah. I'd be all
They could
for
do a
that.
lot with that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That would be too much fun. It's like having those 3 legendary ships,
Yeah.
but make it legendary people that are the most wanted that surround themselves with like a whole bunch of elites, and it just make it so difficult to get to them. I would love it.
That would be great.
And get like 500,000 credits for taking one of them out, 1 million for the number one.
That'd be awesome.
Most of my mods, like I said, are based off of that. And the only one that actually changes anything is my Andrasia outfit replacer.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes her more curvy.
Of course.
More junk in the trunk, it's a must-have for me. And, of course, my weapon mods. So I have...
Okay.
I did do one that felt too cheaty, so I got rid of it. That's the paid rifle one.
Okay.
I forgot the name of it. I didn't like it. It was way too cheaty.
The one that Yeah. I remember you talking about that.
My favorite one I have, other than my two favorite, are the SVD sniper rifle. So it looks like the older sniper rifle, but it's better, higher caliber, and you can do a lot of modding to it. Love
Okay.
that thing. It's my second sniper rifle choice in the game. The Enforcer pistol is by far my favorite pistol. It feels like a traditional Colt 45 and just like a 1911 basically, but more BA.
Nice.
The 5.7, which I still have not found yet.
Really?
Yep. I keep looking in shops. I keep looking everywhere off drops. I haven't seen it yet. I think
You
it
double
might
check those.
be like a level 45 type weapon.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you check out the mod description? Sometimes they tell you.
I did, and they didn't say.
Oh. Hmm.
Like I know that the Drifter's hand cannon, my other favorite one, you have to be level I think 18 for it to start appearing in the world.
Oh, okay.
It's something around that level. And as soon as I hit that level, I started finding them everywhere and all different variations. That one has a ton of variations, more than any other guns in the game. So
That's
those are
cool.
my go-tos. Just things that add more to it. And when Bethesda releases a new mod, I'm all over it. I just haven't done Hell's Gate yet because it hasn't fit with my playstyle.
That's fair enough. I don't know about that one with pistols on extreme though.
Yeah, it would be hell.
It would be hell. That's for sure. But I got a couple. I went through my load order. I realized a lot of stuff was pretty expendable, but there are a handful of things I would absolutely have to have every playthrough. And the first one is the craftable blackout themed outfits. I think it was like 300 Bethesda credits or something like that. And that's
Okay.
just because I don't look like my character and my crew to look like everybody else. I want them to be unique. They're supposed to be a unique crew, so they should have a unique uniform. And that just might be an OCD thing with me, but I love that mod. You got a bunch of different options, and yeah, I'm gonna be using that and then
I'm
everything else
gonna
is pretty much ship.
I'm
What's
gonna
up?
pause you really quick on this thought because we've talked about this previously
Okay,
on the show a little bit. I don't want to lose this thought.
no
I
problem.
think one thing that they really, really, really need to consider doing and soon is allowing us to customize the look and appearance of our weapon skins and our suits.
Yeah.
Because there's no color options at all. There's no
Yep.
other way of designing different. I mean, we're able to go on and manufacture these suits or add to them. Why can't we change the color?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be reasonable. At least have some kind of different mod variant that would change the appearance. They did it with both armor and weapons in Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not something that we necessarily. I mean, yeah, you kind of get like a different look depending on what components you mod onto your weapons, but it's not quite as diverse as it was in previous titles of Bethesda's.
No, it's
And
not diverse at all.
yeah, and the ability to like customize your spacesuit to add different gear or pockets or whatever patches, and that's funny because those were popular mods in Fallout. There were mods that allowed you to have outfits that you could change all the details on, make it look exactly how you want. There was one, the heck was it? It was like a GI uniform mod. You could have blue or green. You could have unit patch, your nation patch, different.
Yeah, like getting patches for certain achievements in the game would be amazing. Like the
That
Ranger,
would be great. Yeah,
full freestar Ranger. I want to display that.
right. That would be great. That's actually a really cool idea. I love that. Every time you finish a faction, you get a new patch on your
My main character
uniform.
would be completely black, head to toe, all weapons, everything. He's a stealth assassin, but his
Sure.
patches would only be the different things. Like
Yeah.
Trigger's Alliance. I
Yeah.
killed this many people. That
Right.
kind of thing.
That would be awesome, dude. I love that idea. That's amazing.
Anyway,
But
you were saying.
yeah. Most of my other mods that I think are like cannot live without playing this game are definitely all ship related. Ship parts merging. Yep, gotta have it. I learned to do it early on. I was ticked off when they took it out of the game, and first chance I got a mod
Put it
for
right back in.
Yep. Better ship parts flip, also essential. And pretty much all of the, I gave credit where credit is due. All the Aventech mods,
That's the one I forgot to mention.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I have Aventech was
Yeah.
in my top mods.
Yep, Aventech, Race Yards, and the newest one just came out. All if it says Aventech, get it. And what was the other one?
I want to be clear that Aventech in no way sponsors this show.
No,
we,
we're just
we talk
really,
about it because he does a fantastic job. He's been on the show and talked to
yeah,
us. He's a friend of the show. So
yeah, he is. But I mean, he deserves to be spoken about in his work because
Yeah.
They're just really good. I like Daratech. I like G-Tech. I do like a lot of these other mods that are out there, but there's no denying the guy did great work with what he has. So, I mean, but that's, Rolling Deep. That's the other one. Starfield Extended Rolling Deep, which allows you to get more crew members because I like my ship to feel alive until the time that I spawn in and I have to throw elbows at Barrett to try to get him to move out of a corridor so I can get by him.
Yep.
I've done that. I've done that.
Standing in the middle of the hallway. I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
We get a chance.
But
Can we
everything-
talk about something?
But everything else on my list I mentioned last week, is I'm pretty flexible on it. But I have to be able to build my ships, and I want my crew to look like unique to the universe.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I can agree with that, even though I don't really care so much about my appearance. But
Right.
if I've given the option to where I can customize my appearance without having to download a mod for a specific look, I'm all for it.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's fair. Oh, and I did mention before, I think, on a little bit of a correction on craftable blackout themed outfits. I mentioned in a previous episode that when you have the pieces in your inventory and you're looking at the riot, it's like the riot helmet or the security helmet, it says UC on underneath the visor. However, when you craft it, I found out this week, it doesn't have it on the helmet. That's only when you're looking at it in your inventory. When you're wearing it, it doesn't have the UC logo on it. So I don't know if that's going to sway anybody, but I wanted to correct myself.
Yeah, we make mistakes on the show all the time.
Yeah.
I'm very guilty of that.
We both are.
All right. Anything else on that?
No, not on the mods. That's all I got for my...
Illness, I'm going to give you a shout out. Your outpost that you built on the lake, I really, really like the look of it a lot in our Outpost Builders channel. I was pretty impressed with it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he did his solar arrays in the middle of the lake, and he has a little picture of him looking over the railing.
Yeah.
It's just a cozy, well-designed area. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Mossy did something pretty similar.
I think we should also mention Illness also does not sponsor the podcast. we just happen to bring him up every week.
We had a new listener come into our Discord once, and Illness said hi, and he's like, "You're Starfield Raw royalty."
He's an OG.
So much on the show. Yeah, he's definitely OG. Mossy's on that list too of being an OG.
That's also true. Did Mossy say something?
No, just Mossy's outpost that he posted shortly after Illness did it.
Oh, yeah.
I wish he had more pictures of it because the one picture didn't. But it's multi-layered, and I like how he designed it, especially with his landing pad on top of a rock cliff.
Oh, yeah.
I like that a lot. And the kid put a picture in content for the show that I actually liked a lot. He has this chrono watch on at work, and it has Starfield Raw episode 63 Bloodlust on it.
Oh, dude, it does. That's awesome.
I thought that was pretty classy.
I almost want to make that my phone background. Look at that. That's a great picture.
Yeah, that's pretty BA. So that's it we got for around Discord. There's a lot going on in Starfield General that I didn't have time to really go look into it. I mean, Nixter posted a video today that was a pretty cool little clip that he went through.
Oh, yeah. The crazy jump with the Rev 8 that he did.
Right in the middle pack of people.
Yeah.
Yep. It reminded me so much of the time I sniped a pilot in a spacecraft or in a starship.
Call back to an early episode.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. And yeah, okay, so let's move on.
What
have you been up to, man?
Oh, dude. Well, I have. I was talking about joining this Crimson Freak.
Crimson Freak.
Yeah.
The Crimson Freaks.
The Crimson Freaks. I was joining the Crimson Freaks last week. I'm gonna stop that train of thought right there because my brain just started going down bad joke boulevard as a bad guy, and I talked about dealing with Ikande and the UC and how to get around everything like that. Well, I started actually I did the interview audition job that you have to do for Neva, where you have to find the guy who's on that freighter and then either convince him to leave forever or take him out.
Right.
I tell the captain, I'm like, all right, like, okay, I'm going to be a bad guy, but like, I don't want to ice the entire crew. So I'm thinking, like, how do I handle this? I'm like, yeah, I'll make the captain shoot him.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know who it is. Because if you don't know who it is, technically, theoretically, you're like, all right, well, I guess I have to kill everybody.
Yeah.
But if you have the captain shoot him, then the captain agrees, and the guy's like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? And the captain's like, well, I'm sorry. I have to do this. I have to protect my people. And there was like a long pause, and it was just too long. I was like, well, I know who it is now, so I just popped him myself and then left. But then the captain was all distraught, like he was the one that actually did it, which I thought was funny. But obviously hinged on your dialogue choice there. But
Every time I've done that, except one time, I saved him. But
yeah,
you can vary it a little bit, and I had him to where they would drop him off and race him from the
yeah,
logs like he never existed. That was like my number one thing. I think one time
yeah,
I did have him kill him when I went full bad the first time on Crimson Fleet.
yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
I gotta try that still. I've still been thinking about what we talked about last week with the fact that you can go into the Crimson Fleet without ever touching the UC.
yeah, and I'm regretting that I didn't just back up and do that because I'm so like I'm full Crimson Fleet, but I have to keep going back and reporting to the Vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
the thing
think
that
I'm
annoys
gonna
the snot out of me every time.
yeah, well I think I'm gonna remedy that a little bit later, but I'll talk about that coming up.
My question is, if you do that though, how is the final fight going to be, or is it just the fact that the UC doesn't thinks you're just one of the pirates and they still attack anyway?
Yeah, probably I would imagine
Yeah,
that's the
okay.
case. They just assume you're
Answer
a
my own
pirate,
question.
so yeah, like you don't even have to mess with anything.
And if I remember
So
correctly, we have to get arrested, turn down the offer, and then the Crimson Fleet comes to us.
yes, as I
Okay.
understand it, that's the way it's supposed to go. So I built a new ship.
There's a shocker.
I put it in the Discord. I love it. I'm so
I'm sure
happy
I
with
saw
it.
it.
I'm sure you did. Big red girl.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah. Well, I had like a bunch, especially like early on when I first started shipbuilding. I'd go through like Reddit and Facebook, and
Oh, I didn't tell you.
it was mostly Reddit and Facebook.
Do you know what your ship
Finding a
reminded me
bunch
of? As soon as I saw
what?
it, it
What?
looked just like a pod racer.
It got a little bit. It does got a little bit of. See, I should
A
have put
really,
the
really
original.
big one.
I should. Yeah, I should have put. Well, I should have put the original ship up there because it looks like this really cool, sleek. It's actually a little bit more demure than my ship is. Mine's a little bit beefier just because of how I had to alter the design because I changed the cockpit. I think they originally used the Hope Tech. But anyways, so I was just going through my phone and came across this picture of the ship I've been wanting to build. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do that one. And I just love the way it turned out. 100% Crimson Fleet
Honestly,
ship. Awesome.
it does look really awesome. But just how, like, if you you put your engines on the other side of the ship, it would look like something out of Star Trek, like a bad
What do
guy
you mean?
Star Trek ship.
On the like on the back.
Yeah, if you like swap the engines to the other side, the front end that's now the back end would look like it looks something just like out of Star Trek.
Yeah, I could see that.
Either way, it's a great design.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. If it was, yeah. I don't know. It turned out looking super wicked.
It does. Definitely
Very cool.
a dangerous pirate ship.
Yep. And it's using everything inside is Eleonora's mods with the 2 patches that make it look nice and tidy.
Okay.
So I also mentioned last week how there's certain companions that you can have, and I'm sure everybody's aware of this. There's certain companions that you can have, or followers, crew, that really don't care what you do, right? You can be a criminal, you can be a murderer, you can do whatever, and they're not going to get upset like pretty much all of Constellation. So I actually dove into this a little bit because I had a list, but then I realized that my list wasn't complete. And so to the best of my knowledge, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a total of 11 companions or crew members that you can have that don't care what you do. So you can stock a whole ship full of crew. You got the Adoring Fan. We talked about him.
Mm-hmm.
You got Betty Hauser, who's the mercenary. You have to find her and help her fix her ship. Danny Garcia is in Euphorica and Neon. She doesn't care. Apparently, I haven't tested this yet because I think I messed up the mission. I can't find him yet. Eric Von Price, down in the residential area in Sidonia, the bar, and the owner asked you to go collect her ship that was stolen. You have to go out to like
vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he's got like Titan, and there's a bunch of Ecliptic mercenaries on board. Apparently, Eric Von Price is the dude you rescued during that mission, and apparently I mean, I have once gained him as crew. You go back to the bar, and he'll ask to join your crew, and apparently he doesn't care what you do. Obviously, Jessamine Griffin and Matthias Castillo, both Crimson Fleet members. After you finish the Crimson Fleet line, you can recruit them. Mickey Caviar, the cook that you find in the Astro Lounge.
Okay.
Real greasy looking dude. Yeah. Who doesn't really actually serve any purpose on your ship. He just kind of got a smart mouth, horrible hair. I didn't realize this, but a couple of different videos I watched named Simeon Bankowski as a character that you can do anything around. And he used to be a weapons tester for the UC.
I am so useless with all of this stuff because I still at this day have not recruited anyone but Constellation.
Well, I'm giving you some ideas, and Simeon is an
And
excellent
I read
follower,
your
from what I'm
list,
told.
and I'm thinking
Yeah.
that's going to be the way to go on my playthrough with my current main
Yeah,
because he's all evil. And I was just going solo because I don't want to take anybody off.
right. I'm going solo on the ground, but I still got to have my ship crew because that's just how I am.
That's what I was thinking too because I built my main right now for solo play.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I
With
think I got introvert.
Yeah.
Yep. Sophia Grace, I'm blanking on that one. I can't remember where you get her, but she doesn't care. Sophia Grace, I believe you also get on Neon. She is a member of the Disciples that you can hire on as muscle.
Okay.
Vasco and Alternate Universe U. When you go through NG Plus, you get the alternate universe where you come face to face with yourself. You can take him on.
I'm convinced that'll never happen to me.
Right. Have you gotten any alternate universes yet?
2, but I had to save scum to do it.
Oh, right.
Because I went 11 straight with normal universes. So I had to, and both of them were terrible. One was Evil Andrasia, and one everyone was dead by the Hunter.
Statistically speaking, you should have accidentally guessed right by now.
Exactly.
So I did also discover, because I restarted the Crimson Fleet quest line. I just said that. I was at the lock again, and I'm going through, and I think the name of the weapon is Big Bang. It looks like a rocket launcher, but it's a particle beam shotgun.
Yep. I was just going to say that.
I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, that looks like a big gun. I'm going to take that. And then you get to the queen at the end of the lock that you have to fight. And I just started racking them into her. I mean,
that gun would be really good for that.
Tore her up really fast. Yeah. That was really good. So I think I might have to maybe finally dive into particle weapons. It was beautiful. So speaking of the Crimson Fleet quest line, so I go to Delgado, right? After you perform your little initiation, you meet up with Delgado on the key. I walk up to him, and once again, his outfit is missing. Like, his body from the neck down is invisible. Again.
Vank it again, huh?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I didn't do anything. I continued on. I completed the lock. I come back to the ship. He's back to normal again.
Okay, that's weird. I don't even know where to begin on what that could be.
Yeah, that's the second time it happened, because the first time I thought it was mods, but this time I didn't. But this time I didn't change anything, and I still got the same result.
Very well could be an internal bug on the game.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think of. So, and random encounter in space. I was struggling to remember this earlier. I still am. I noticed going through system to system that there are more of the little ship icons popping up. There are more. So
I am 100% convinced that they've added new encounters silently in the background.
Yeah.
People have been finding them in our Discord, ones they didn't know existed, thinking that they're going insane. Well, you're not, because Bethesda has been adding them in the background of their updates. I need to go digging and see if I can find where they did it, but they've done it.
That would be great. Yeah, because it's so random. I mean, it's nice. I think it's actually nice not to know it's coming, even. Not that that the fact that they didn't announce it and then you just stumble upon it in the game. I think that's a lot of fun.
Bethesda's known for doing that in their updates.
Yeah.
Hiding little things in there like random encounters. They did it in Skyrim.
Yep.
So
yeah, not beyond them.
I'm 100% sure that's the case.
Yeah. I have decided how I'm going to part ways with the UC.
Okay.
The next mission I have coming up is the one where you have to go to get the comm spike off that space station. And when you're having the conversation with Neva, she basically says, if you decide to shoot the place up, make sure you're well armed because it's heavily guarded. And I'm like, oh.
Giving you a clear window to do so.
That's an option. That's what she's saying. She's like, I don't care what you do as long as you come back with a comm spike. So I'm going to go load up on 777 ammo.
You're going to light it up?
Med kits. I'm going to light it up. I've never done that before. I tried the last couple of times the last time I did that, when you have to sneak in and you have to get the Marine armor or the Marine uniform so
Yep.
that you can sneak through. The last time I did that, I had a heck of a time with it. Those Marines walking around the barracks kept catching me, and they were like, they were like popping me one because I don't
Really?
have my spacesuit on because I'm trying to sneak, and they can pop you really really quick. So I think I'm gonna have to arm up and go in there and lay waste. See my enemies driven
I'm
before
really
me.
curious about what you're gonna say about that after you do it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it.
Rambo Kilo.
Rambo
It's
Kilo.
almost like a really bad call sign.
That is kind of a bad one. Not a great one. Have you ever looked at those lists of name? I'm sorry. I think it was when we did the Trackers Alliance. I started kind of looking into different things, and I know that call signs, like in the Navy, if you have a call sign as a pilot, it's usually not a great story behind it, even if it sounds
Yeah.
badass. Like there's always some embarrassing stuff behind it. And I think the favorite one I ever saw was T-Bar.
Okay.
T-BAR, T-Bar, and it stands for That Boy Ain't Right. That was my favorite one.
Like football.
Sorry, random. Go ahead. What'd you do this week?
I got mad.
Okay.
That boils it down. I started doing the Chop Shop quest for Trackers Alliance. Like I said, I was going to do, leveling up to get that extra point so I can get my piloting up.
Right.
Well, it drove me nuts doing that in 0G with pistols only. I kept...
No, you weren't doing a bunch of cool backflips and stuff and dual wielding?
I was doing nothing but chasing these people all over the space station. They shoot at me and they run. They fly away. Like, come on. They know I'm only using pistols, so they're just keeping out of my range.
Get back here so I may brain thee.
I took my scope pistol out and tried shooting him, and out of 6 rounds, I hit him once. They kept going all over the place around him, even though I was trained on him.
Horrible numbers for Widget.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy. I couldn't hit him. Yeah, and then having to fly around. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of 0G to begin with, and doing it with pistols was just a double negative.
Right.
If not triple. I had some very, very choice words for all these guys, and all they would drop was melee weapons and spacesuits.
Oh, so not even anything you could use.
Nothing good.
Oh, man.
They just, which is normal and on par for me. I'm used to it. And I seem to be just collecting free ships. I got my 5th one when I finished the whole Chop Shop thing.
Oh, yeah, the little beater.
Yeah, the junker thing.
Yeah.
So that makes 5. 6 if you count the Frontier, but the Frontier is not someone that we actually own, so I really don't count it.
Right.
I got the Kepler R, the Project Mammon shuttle, the Star Eagle, the Razor Leaf, and the Junker Watchdog. And I sold the Mammon shuttle. It was a cool one, actually. It was the coolest one I've gotten so far from doing that.
Yeah.
From doing the Escape, but I got rid of it. I needed the money, and I got rid of the Junker because I wasn't going to use it at all. I'm
Fair
keeping,
enough.
though, the Razor Leaf and Star Eagle and the Kepler. I'm probably going to use the Kepler for a little bit when I get my Class C, and then I'm going to upgrade the Star Eagle when I finally get enough credits to do so.
See, I appreciate that. I want the free ships so I have the extra slots to build new ships.
Yeah. And you get the right ships, like the Razor Leaf, it has a name attached to it. Even if you strip it completely down, you still have that name.
Right, right. I do love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to use to mod up.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if you do the Frontier and completely strip it down and build something new, it's still called the Frontier. They'll always talk about it as the Frontier.
Right, right.
So eventually I'm going to get to the point where I can build my own ship. Right now, no. I put a couple
You're
of...
not there yet.
No. I put a couple new engines on Star Eagle to make it a little bit faster. And that took all my credits. But all my money's going towards meds and ammo. That's all. Every ounce, every credit.
Well, I mean, you're playing extreme with pistols.
Yeah. That's a broke way to play it.
Yeah.
And then when I finished that quest and I got back to Trackers Alliance and finally could get down in the basement and they let you choose your call sign. And the only one, I did a lot of research on this because I was curious if there was any other call signs that you can get in the game from doing different things, but the only one is the Mantis.
So you're saying if you do the Secret Outpost mission, you get the ship, then you can pick your call sign to be Mantis.
Correct.
Okay.
And I did, because I wanted to see it.
Oh.
And I went down around the basement and was talking to everybody, and they had some very funny and interesting things to say about my call sign.
Really? Like what?
Like the lady at the bar was like, Mantis. Not the Mantis, are you? No, you couldn't be. Nah. We'll just leave it as a mystery. It's more fun that way. Stuff like that.
That's amazing.
And then first time I talked to the guy down in the basement, Yama.
Okay.
He's like this hippy dippy guy meditating, and I
Oh,
talked to
okay,
him,
yeah,
and he's a legit psycho. My new best friend.
yeah. Okay.
He named himself after the god of the dead because he likes to give the god of the dead new souls. And his
Nice.
biggest piece of advice is, if given the choice between dead or alive, always choose dead.
Joke's on you, buddy. We're already doing that.
Like, yeah, done.
Check.
Yeah, he's a man after my own main character's heart. His new best friend.
That's awesome.
So had 4 Astra on me. So I went to
Okay.
go do the Astra exchange, and this is where it gets annoying. The very first thing I got was a legendary Rattler, which I stared at and thought about, like, you know what? This thing's keepable. I can't stand Rattlers; they're weak. But it had Exterminator on it, Hitman, and Tesla. Like, this is a pretty decent gun. I probably
roll.
would never use it though.
Right.
So I started save scumming. All right, here we go. The next one I got was a spacesuit. I reloaded. Power pack. Spacesuit. Power pack. Skip pack. I hate my freaking luck. That's all I could think. And I saved all my good luck for my girlfriend. That's where it's at. Fine. Helmet. Skip shot. Regulator. And that one I almost kept. But it's a
Okay.
regulator. And I have 2 guns. The hand cannons that are better.
Right.
And I kept doing this. And I kept track of the suits, the helmets, and the packs and the melee weapons that I got. Okay, I want to insert that sound of 2 hours later from SpongeBob. Because
Okay,
it
there we
was
go.
literally 2 hours later when I gave up.
2 hours later.
2
I had-
hours later.
37 spacesuits. One time I had 4 in a row.
Wow.
4. I had 19 helmets, 22 packs, 7 melee weapons, and 4 guns. 2 of which were basic garbage pistols. The other 2 were shotguns.
Wow.
Yep. And I got so fed up with it that I quit the game. For now.
That's fair.
I
That
did
is
not want to play
fair.
again after that, so I didn't. I'll get back into it, and I'll do it again and pull my hair out some more. But I
Right.
think what they really need to do with this is they need to give us the choice of, like, group. Okay, so when you talk to them, like, what do you want? Do you want armor? Do you want a spacesuit? Do you want a weapon? Even if it's just
Right.
those 2 choices would be fantastic. Or break it down further. Do you want a shotgun? Do you want a melee weapon? And then get a random choice based off of that.
Yeah, that would be a lot better. Well,
Like-
I mean, because we figured out that the random inventory generator, it's not great, as
No.
evidenced by the Keep Armory and Shattered
Mhm.
Space. It's not great. It's not very nuanced, and yeah, it would be a lot better if you could at least kind of give me a group, give me a column to kind of
Yeah.
put
That's
my
all I
chips in
wanted.
there.
Like, okay, you do. Clearly, you say you have a large inventory, but can you at least organize it? And
Yeah.
not just pull something out of your rear end and give it to me? No.
Right.
Not when you're going to give me 37 suits.
Killed 4 dudes to get this, man. Give me what I want.
Come on, dude. Just say, okay, well, you have pistols? Great, I'll take one of those. I don't care. Just one of them. They need to fix the random generator on that for
Yeah.
Astra because it's driving me nuts. I think it's a great idea and a great system, but it could be a lot better.
Yeah, it could be refined.
Yeah.
Could be polished.
So that I'm not pulling hair out. I don't have enough hair to lose. I'm not going bald, but now I am thanks to this.
Right.
So yeah, that was my week, man. It was just frustration, save scumming for hours and hours and hours, and I even stopped counting for after a while, like halfway through. So I think I probably
Yeah.
had close to 50 or 60 suits at the end.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. That is a PO'd level of obsession.
and I didn't want to
And
give up.
Your sunk cost fallacy by the time you get 10 or 15 in. So you
Yep.
just keep going. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, man.
And I don't
That's
want to
horrible.
stop until I get something usable.
Right.
I don't care what handgun it is. If I get another one, I don't care if I have to sell it. I'm just going to take it and run.
There you go.
I'm done with it.
At that point.
All right, let's get into some mods.
Yeah, I got some cool ones this week, man. We got this one I love. Words
Okay.
of Power. Words of Power, Unrelenting Force by Captain Murphy 21. And this is great. This replaces Gravwave with Unrelenting Force
Oh,
from
jeez.
Skyrim.
It's the same thing already.
Yeah, but this one is a more comical. It makes the power non-hostile. So you could like shoot this into a group of just peaceful NPCs like in Atlantis and just send people flying and no one will care. It
Okay.
is literally a mess around. It's built for a chuckle.
Oh.
Apparently they replaced the sound for the power as well. So
Does he say Fus Roda?
that's what I'm assuming, yes.
Okay, there was this
So-
mod in Skyrim that was my all-time favorite. I really want it in this game. It was called the Pew Pew mod. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I saw the video, and it's the hardest I've ever laughed on the air doing a podcast before.
Okay.
They replace all the bow sounds with pew, pew, and different tones depending on the person. So they had to show the video with all these different people launching these arrows. Pew, 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 pew. Oh my gosh, I want that in this game. I want all my gun sounds to be pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew. That's hilarious. I love that. Okay, and then I guess we'll go with this one next. Burn Your Bridges, Kill Essential NPCs by ADG25. I'm going to preface this one by saying it can break your game.
Oh, yeah, it will.
So use at your own risk. It will lock you out of quests and quest lines and things like that, but it makes 50 essential NPCs killable, including Benjamin Bayou and Ron Hope before you start the Ranger's quest line. The thing is that when you start the associated quest line, it will automatically default the surviving essential NPCs to essential again. But if you obviously you get to kill Ron Hope at the end of the Ranger quest line. That's cool. But every time I cross paths with Benjamin Bayou and his President Snow acting ass, I want to take him out. He drives me. I can't stand him, especially during what's that one where you have to help that guy who makes the drink out of Aurora when Benjamin Bayou walks into the liquor store. He's just totally power playing you. I just want to be able to just
Here, suck on this.
So that's an option. But it's out of all of the mods that we've mentioned in recent memory, that one is probably the most guaranteed to break your game. So do at your own risk. And the last one I have is amazing. Terramorph Followers, a Fluffy of My Own by Minion Squisher. Now, apparently this mod references a previous quest mod that Minion Squisher made, and there was a demand from the people who use that mod to have a Terramorph Followers. Well, you can have not one, not two, 5 Terramorph Followers or crew members.
This is OP.
Okay? This is amazing. It starts from the full-size Terramorphs, and they go all the way down to a more compact fella who is better for getting around ships in tight corridors. Although, as I mentioned previously, Terramorphs can go through doors.
Yeah.
Just like the raptors in Jurassic Park. I learned that the hard way. But, so you want to drag around a Terramorph follower, that's that. That's all I got for mods this week.
That's frightening. I just pictured these Terramorphs crawling around your ship on the walls and the roof everywhere. Nope, I'm good.
Amazing.
Little or big, I'm done. Well, that's going to wrap up tonight's show, guys. If you want to reach this show for advertising of the business, starfieldbraw@gmail.com. You can also message me and Kilo or directly on Discord and join in the conversations. Give us ideas for the show. Show us your builds of your outposts, your ships, anything.
Yeah, we want to see it all, man. We love looking at that stuff.
Yeah, within reason.
Well, yeah. Some things we don't.
Yeah, some things just better left off. Discord.gg/raw podcasts. Come on in, join the conversation. You don't have to use your voice at all. Most of it's all text chat.
Yeah.
It's the best kind of social media.
It is.
You get to pick the groups you go into. Our Facebook is Raw Podcasts. Our X is at Starfield Raw. And our Instagram,
Raw Podcasts 1.
You can follow us individually as well. I am at The Widget, TheWigit, on everything.
And I am at Kilo Tango 1122 everywhere.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have not just a fantastic, but an amazing time out in the stars.
Who are we? We find that we live on an insignificant planet of a humdrum star lost in a galaxy tucked away in some forgotten corner of a universe in which there are far more galaxies than people. Carl Sagan.